Be careful, that's kinda creepy. Toe beans, under boob. This is Tonya Tigris, Herbalist version. ERA-002 from LADoTOY's Mystic Land series. She is their second or third 1/12 furry action figure, and she has a pretty nice design and a good bunch of accessories. Let's see how this cat girl is and whether there's anything you need to watch out for. I got Tonya directly from LADoTOYs to review, so shout out to them and thank you. Do go check out their socials on X and Weibo and stuff to keep up to date with their releases. They do also hold giveaways occasionally for figures and photo cards and stuff. Who is Ted though? A new character perhaps? They're making different versions of the girlies too, which is pretty cool. And let's open up the box. Inside there's just one tray and a bunch of stuff. After sales. And instructions. By the way, I will have some links down below in case you want to grab her too. The tray is packed full of stuff, which is nice to see. Getting her out. She has some plastic protective bits, which are a little bit hard to remove since there's no slit like other figures have. Doesn't matter too much though, you can just take your time with it. Here she is. And of course she needs her tail as well. The tail is plastic with a metal bendy wire inside so you can move it about. And it plugs into her butt, kind of. Tonya's overall design is quite nice, and the earthy nature tones with the green and oranges work quite well together. The hair and face are nicely sculpted and detailed with some shading. Her clothing and body sculpt look good too, and she even comes with some underboob and a cleverly placed mole. Overall quite pleased with how she looks. What are your thoughts on Tonya Tigris so far? Let me know down below. For articulation, head turns, left and right, all around if you want it to. She can tilt, lots of good range. So her head is actually designed in a pretty interesting way. As you can see, there are two ball joints there, one going straight up into the head, and then the other going into this back hair section. So this part will move independently, depending on how you move it. So when you have her nodding, it can avoid gaps and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. I guess it works well. It's not too noticeable. So pretty good tilts. Nods a whole bunch. So she can look down that much, which is pretty crazy. Looking up. About that much. So the back hair does still kind of get in the way. A little bit. See if I can tuck it up there. So downwards look will be a lot better than upwards look. But otherwise the range is pretty solid. Her ears will move, so they go up and down a little bit, and then you can rotate them as well. The range isn't crazy, but it's better than just having static ears, I think. Arms raise up to the sides, that much. They go forwards, all the way up. So she does have a butterfly joint. The butterfly joint will allow her to reach... Whoops. So that's what it looks like. So from this, I guess it won't have a ton of extra range, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. And her face can be a little bit loose. So front reach, about that much with the butterfly. See if I can get it to move a little bit more. Yeah, so you will have to take your time in getting her butterfly to work properly. But otherwise, I think it's an improvement on Liya. For reference, this is how far Liya can reach forward, so definitely an improvement there. Reaching backwards, not too bad. So I would say this is a bit of an improvement. There is a lower bicep rotation where I guess the bandage or the sleeve bit is. She has double jointed elbows, which move well. Wrist movement, pretty standard stuff. Nothing will really get in the way there. Torso movement, pops off. And her tail fell off there, so you gotta be careful where you grab. And there goes her front hair again. Just gotta be careful, if you rotate it too much it will pop off to the sides, but otherwise get about that much range, which is not bad. Forwards and backwards bends, pretty good. Side tilts. Under boob with a mole, very nice. The waist will rotate a tiny bit. Of course, can tilt, so that's a lot of tilt if you use the upper and lower waist. However, it will gap a little bit there. Forwards and backwards bend of the waist, coupled with the upper torso, about that much. Backwards, a whole bunch. So backwards bend is a bit better than forwards bend. And so yeah, torso range, not bad. Tail will of course rotate because you just plug it in. And you can just bend it here and there. Legs raise up to the sides, all the way. There is a drop down leg feature, so normally it looks like that. Drops down, looks like that. Forwards and back like that. For the full leg range, she can kick up that much. And she can kick backwards about that much. There goes the tail. Thigh rotation. Double knees. Very good. No other movement in the boot or anything. Going down to the feet. So backwards, forwards, side rotation. And I guess you can fake a tilt depending on the angle of the joint. So overall range, pretty decent. She can do really high kicks. She can cross her legs and sit pretty well. Just gotta be careful of a few loose bits here and there. Might have to use some Display joint strengthening pen on the head. For her faces, she has 3 total. 2 of these do have movable eyes. By default, she's just got a neutral kind of face. Details look good. Sculpting, paint and everything, nice and neat. The design of the face and hair is a little bit different, so it looks like that. And besides just pulling it out like that, there are extra tabs. So you will have to detach the face from the front hair. Whoops. And it looks something like that. A little bit reminiscent of some SHF figures, I think. Take your alternate face, plug it back in, and then put her hair back on. She's got a super happy eyes closed face, so this one, of course, you can't move the eyes. Paint and details and everything still looks really good. Finally, she has a masked up face, which is pretty cool. Of course, you can move the eyes and details, even though you can't see the nose and the mouth. I really like my masked characters, so this, I guess, is my favorite face. I'm not quite sure. Which one would be your favorite? To move the eyes, you use the eye articulation tool, which you can find strapped to the back of the tray. Just plug it into the back there, and then you'll be able to move the eyes back and forth. Left, right, up, down. Quick tip is that if you want more range, don't plug it in all the way. So just plug it in a little bit, and then you can kind of like push it. Or rather, in this case, you don't even have to plug it in, just kind of push it, and then it will move in whichever direction you want it to. Tonya has some hand and foot swaps. By default, she's just got open, kind of relaxed hands. Quite nicely detailed with the nails and the paw pads. She's got fisty hands, which, nothing too exciting. There's just one nail painted and, well, it's a fist. And finally, she's got holdy hands with a small hole. The hand is not enclosed, so there will be some leeway on what she can hold. For feet, she's got default standing toe beans, which is not in focus. And there is a hole for the stand. This is what the stand looks like, and so there's some nice detailing and colors, and it's got a very rough matte texture, so that's pretty cool. Simply plug it into one of her feeties, and hopefully it is secure. So something like that. Yeah, secure enough, I suppose. It does help that she doesn't have a heavy tail or anything like Liya does. Alternatively, she's got these tiptoed feet. Not too much difference besides that they're tiptoed. Print details and everything on these are quite nice, but I'm no expert. Tonya has a cross arm swap, So what you do is just pull her arms off at the bicep, which I hope is not too tough. It's a little bit tough. So some heat would be good there. There we go, that's kind of creepy. And then you just plug them back in. There we go, looks something like that. It actually wasn't too hard to plug in, which is good. Just need to take your time with it. She's got a little baggie, which looks nice. This is a soft plastic, so you can just put it around her shoulder and stuff like that. You can also take the little planty and then just peg it into there. Simple but effective. Tonya also has a belt thing. It is quite nicely detailed with different shades of brown and some gold at the front and stuff like that. And you can also unbuckle it at the front, so you can put it on her more easily. Just wrap it around her, and then you should be able to buckle it into place. There we go, something like that. You'll notice that there are 2 holes here, which you can put these potions into. So she's got a pink and a blue potion thing. There's not really any trick to this. The belt is soft plastic, so you just kind of have to force it in there. There you go. Wasn't too difficult to do. And there's the other one. Finally, she has a sickle and a shovel. I think this is a sickle, right? And that's a shovel, I think. These will fit perfectly into her holdy hands. There's the sickle. And there's the shovel. With all her gear, this is what she looks like. So she can go from quite a minimal cat girly to having a whole bunch of stuff on her, which is pretty cool. For height, Tonya is about 5 3/4 of an inch, or about 14.5 centimeters to the tip of her ears. So she is kind of on the shorter side depending on who you put her next to, but she will fit in all the same. I think Tonya is another great figure by LADoToys. Really nice design, improved articulation, and just overall a lot of fun. I just wish some of the joints were a little bit sturdier and perhaps the hands and feet weren't so hard to swap out. But of course I am looking forward to all the other girlies as well. Shout out once again to LADoToys. If you're interested in grabbing her, I'll have links down below as well as the Discord membership stuff. Do check out the other LADoToys and Furry reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.